Yes. So for the nose bumps and licks, I'm not giving any reward. Yes. I want to hear the actual sniffing. There we go, yes. And then I'm feeding her right at source, right over the food, or the odor. Yes. So that way, as she's eating the food, she's taking in that odor and building a really positive association. Yes. So I can hear her actually breathing air in and out of those holes. I can see her nostrils flaring. Yes. So I know she's actually sniffing. And I'm not moving the tin around because I don't want her to play target practice. I'm not teaching her to target. Yes. So right there, I didn't pay her for bumping or sniffing away. She had to sniff the actual odor. Yes. But I'm not moving the tin around because I don't want her to learn to target, right? I want her to learn to actually just sniff. Yes. So I've got the tin, yes, up against my body, because that's where the odor, the target odor eventually is going to naturally be emitting from. Yes, it is from our body. So that's why I'm keeping the tin against my body. Good, yes. That's why I also like using a nice small handheld tin. Yeah, so that was a big huff, so I'm going to give a few extra kibbles there. I'll jackpot her for really good, big, tough breaths, right? Good. Yes. Yes. And even though I'm talking to you guys, I'm not talking to her. I'm giving her yes. Yes. If your dog really excites over praise, then you can give yes and some affection. But I'll show you in a second. When I pet her when she's working, she actually kind of backs off from it. Yes. Good. Yes. See how she kind of shies away? So that's why I'm not using a lot of physical praise with her right now. I'm using food. Yes. So I want her to keep in that work mode. I want her to like this game. Yes. If any point she decides to walk away and get bored, like right now, she didn't walk away, but she's looking for kibble, I'm not going to call her back. I'm not going to entice her back. I'm being still. Yes. Yes. If she wasn't going to come back, I'd simply end the game, walk away, come back, try again later. Yeah, you forgot those. Yes. Oh, that was a big huff. Good. Good girl. Oh, that was good. You could hear that one. I'm actually, oh good, yes, I'm almost out of kibble here. So I'm going to take away the tin because I'm out of kibble. Good job. Can you go place? Place? No, place. Thank you. Okay, so once I'm done with that quick little training session, I'm simply going to take a little rubbing alcohol, paper towel to wipe the top of this tin down. I'm going to place this tin into 2 different plastic baggies, stick it in the fridge. I'm going to use this same target odor and tin for about 3 days, and then I'll be getting rid of the target odor that I have in here. Let's see if I can't open it. My hands are really slimy from her. So in about 3 days, I'll be throwing out that piece of gauze and replacing it with a new target odor. In the beginning, we want to try to keep that target odor as strong and pure as possible, so that's why we're going to be using a new one so frequently. Down the road, our little scent gauzes will actually last us a little bit longer, but for now, about every 3 days, I'm going to be replacing that, and I'm going to be wiping this down after every lesson, so it keeps a little bit of the slobber kibble combination down, hopefully, ideally, but eventually I'll probably just need to replace the tin. On the tin, you see I have 5 holes placed. In the beginning, I'm using 1 tin, 1 target tin. It has the odor and has 5 holes. Down the line, when I start to introduce tins that don't have the target odor, they might have 6 holes. So that way I can tell the difference between the tins. The dog's going to have to use their nose to tell the difference. But for now, for the next 1 to 2 weeks, literally this is all you'll be doing. You'll find a nice quiet room, not a lot of distractions, right? So if your dog's overly stimulated by sights and sounds through the windows, maybe do it in a room without windows. If your dog is distracted by toys, pick up all those toys. Ideally, find a room that is kind of small, you don't use very often, doesn't have a lot of stuff going on in there, and doesn't have an odor to it. So you don't want to use a room, you burn incense, you light candles, or maybe you've just cleaned with a strong cleaner, because all those smells are going to come into play and down the road and contaminate what we're trying to do now, okay? So for the next 1 to 2 weeks, you're just going to have each meal, breakfast, dinner, maybe a few snacks in between, where you get your kibble out, throw it in your pocket or treat pouch, take your tin, place it against your body. Don't try moving it around. We're not playing target practice. Eventually we'll get to that point, but right now, for one session, keep it in one place. The next session, you can move it to a new place, but don't move it too extreme, right? Just simple. So you'll set your dog, you'll throw a few kibbles so your dog goes away from you, sit down in the middle of your room, have your target odor, place it on you, and wait. Wait for your dog to come and sniff it out. Some may have to approximate, where if our dog starts sniffing here but won't get close to the tin, maybe I'll reward here and pay them here and slowly get them closer. But ideally, for those curious dogs that are a little more confident, they're going to come in, put their nose right on it, and sniff it, going, hey, what's this? It's new. I'm going to say yes or good, and I'm going to reward and feed the dog right on top of that tin. So the dog is eating the food while taking in the odor. As soon as they're done with their kibbles, sometimes 1 kibble, sometimes 5, mix it up. Once they're done with their kibble, I just take my hand away and wait. Again, you'll probably be doing this for 1 to 2 weeks because we want to build a really strong foundation. But once you see your dog is pretty much just keeping their nose there and constantly sniffing, right? Not just keeping their nose there and holding it. It's not what we're trying to teach. But once you hear the dog constantly sniffing religiously, that's when I will start moving that target odor around. And down the line, I'll be introducing blank tins that don't have an odor. And even further down the line, I'll be introducing distraction odors that might kind of be something we need to work the dog out of. For example, I would probably, for me, down the line, I would make sure I did some proofing off of Gain laundry detergent, because that's what I use. It has a strong scent. And me holding the tin against my leg, yes, they're getting target odor, but they're also smelling my laundry detergent because it has a strong smell. If I'm using lotion, they're smelling that. So down the road, we're going to be proofing dogs off of that. And that's also something to consider when you go into your training sessions. What do you smell like? Did you just use lotion? Did you just use cologne? All those things are going to hinder training, so try to have as sterile as an environment as possible, you included. Okay, so there's step 1. Pretty simple stuff. We're just getting the dog to sniff the tin, and we're marking and rewarding when we actually see the dog or hear the dog sniffing, and we're just repeating this for about 1 to 2 weeks. Okay, so let me know if you have any questions, and good luck.